Hello, welcome back to writing linear line equations. This one is word problems using the standard form. And remember that standard form is your ax plus by equals c, where c is the total amount. Sometimes there is no slope given, and there appears to be two slopes, either one. These two numbers are the number per x and the number per y. Each of these is multiplied to x and y respectively. There is no beginning amount, and nor are there points given. However, there may be a total involved. In this case, that's where we need to know that c is your total amount. Neither variable is dependent on the other in this case. Okay, so it's written just a little bit differently. So when we write our equation for each problem, we're also going to then check our work and everything. But we need to look at the word problem itself. Your school is sponsoring a pancake dinner to raise money for a field trip. You estimate that 200 adults and 250 children were going to attend, and the school raised $3,800. So we know that there's going to be some adults coming, and we know that there's going to be some children attending, and that the total, so this is going to be our C, is 3,800. So this is probably the easiest way to write this one, as at 3,800. So a lot of times when you have something like a pancake supper, you have an adult price and you have a child price. And so with that knowledge behind us, we know that there's going to be a price for the adults and there's going to be a price for the children that are going to be different. And we know that if we take the adult amount and the children amount and add them together, we're going to get our 3,800. So let's let our x be the amount for our adults, and y can be the amount for our children. So now that I've identified my variables, where x is my amount for my adults and y is the amount for the children, we are going to use that information and this up here to come up with our equation. So there are 200 adults, so 200 adult fees, so 200 times x, and we know that we're going to put them together, 250 children at y cost, and that gives us our equation of 200x plus 250y will equal 3,800. If the cost of the dinner for adults is $10, what is the cost for the children's dinner? Well, adults was our x, so we're going to replace x with 10. So we have 200 times 10 plus 250 y equals 3,800. So now all I have to do is simplify and solve for y. Well, at 200 times 10, that's 2,000 plus 250y equals 3,800. Now I'm going to subtract 2,000 from each side. So I have 250y on the left, and 2,000 from 3,800 is 1,800. And now I'm going to divide both sides by 250. And that gives me 7.2. So how much is it for the, what is the price for the children's dinner? It's $7.20. It's important that when you write these answers that you write them, since it's looking for a money amount, we write it in money form. Now they want to know what is the cost of the adult meal if the children's meal costs $2. So again, I'm going to replace the variable for the children's cost with 2 and then solve for the x. So I'm going to have 200x plus 250 times 2 equals 3,800. 250, and now we're going to simplify. 250 times 2 is 500. And now we're going to subtract 500 from both sides. 500 from 3,800 is 3,300. And then we're going to divide both sides by 200. And I get 1,650. And so the cost for the adult meal would be $16.50. Here's another one. It says you are running a concession stand at a basketball game. You will you sell hot dogs for $1 and sodas for 50 cents. At the end of the night, you made $200. Well, this would be in our standard form, AX plus BY equals C. Remember the total cost, that's your C. You have hot dogs and you have sodas, and they're telling you the cost of each. So I know that I'm going to have some hot dogs and I'm going to have some sodas, but I don't know how many. So X is going to be my number of hot dogs. And Y is going to be my number of sodas. Well, if X is my number of hot dogs, what do we know about the hot dogs? They cost $1 each. So we can go ahead and put it as 1X, or you can leave it as X. Either one is fine. So if they buy hot dogs and they buy sodas, what do we know about the sodas? The sodas are 50 cents a piece. And altogether, they made $200. There's our total cost. So there's our equation. Now, if you sold 50 hot dogs, how many sodas did you sell? So we said that hot dogs are X. So if there's 50 hot dogs, they want to know how many sodas did we sell. So we're looking for our Y. So if we replace X with 50, and then we add in our 50 cents per soda, and we know that the total I made that day was $200. There's our equation. We're going to simplify and solve for Y. 1 times 50 is 50. If I move it to the other side, I'm going to subtract 50 from 200. And that gives me 150. And now to solve for Y, I'm going to take 150 and I am going to divide it by 50 cents. And that's going to tell me that Y is 300. So I sold 300 sodas. Oops. If I sold 100 sodas, how many hot dogs did we sell? So this time, the sodas, that's my Y, and we're looking for our X. So if I have 1X plus 100, 100 sodas, so we'll have 50 cents times my 100. And altogether, we know that night they sold $200 worth. Excuse me. I can simplify. 50 cents times 100 is 50. To get X by itself, I'm going to subtract 50 from both sides. And I find that I would have sold 150 hot dogs. Okay, if you have any questions, please make sure you check in with your teacher. Thank you.